Hey guys, it's Annie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very special, exciting video. So I wore a very special, exciting outfit, one of my very favorite onesies for this yearly event. Every year I make a video on all of the things that have manifested on my vision board. So obviously today we're going over all of the things that manifested on my 2020 vision board. I love sharing these videos every year. And before I get on with it though, I want to let you know some very exciting news. I am hosting a vision board workshop. This is a virtual event. There are limited spaces, but you can get your ticket down below. So check that out. There will be more information at the end of the video because there's a lot of freebies that come with the ticket. So I can't wait to talk to you more about that at the end of the video. But before we get to that, for those of you who are new here, I have been making vision boards the last several years. And it was just very exciting to see how much would manifest on my vision board every single year, because just a few years ago, I was in a completely different place. I was very broke, like very low income status. I was babysitting for $10 an hour several days a week. I was in a toxic relationship. I'd gained weight. My skin was a mess from stress. And I was just at a completely different stage in my life. And I didn't have a lot of confidence that I was capable of changing my life. And I felt pretty hopeless, but I got into personal development, I got into manifestation, I started making vision boards, and things started to change. My life started to change. I started increasing my income, and I manifested my dream apartment, and I manifested becoming a certified life coach, and just so much. Like seriously, it blows my mind every single year, the shifts that happen from setting these intentions and allowing them to come into my life. So yeah, I'm very excited about this subject, and I think it's a really fun way to get into manifestation, just having this almost like visual art project that you get to put your energy and intention into every year. Obviously, when everything went down this year, 2020, people were reaching out to me saying like, should I just forget about my vision board? Everything's falling apart in the world. I don't know what to do. And the answer is no. Never give up. Also, be open to the possibilities that you can set intentions and they can show up in a little bit of a different way than you anticipated them or that you planned, but they can still show up. And that happened to me with a lot of the things on my vision board this year, but a lot of it did happen. So I'm gonna take you through the journey of my vision board. I'm gonna start up at the corner and kind of work my way through and tell you all that came true, all that manifested, and the things that didn't, because there definitely were things that didn't happen. And that doesn't mean it's a failure. Just because not everything happens in 1 year on your vision board, that does not mean that it won't happen, or maybe something better is on its way. But let's do this thing. Also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this subject. But now, let's do this. Okay, so up at the top, we have my travel section. And I just filled it with photos of vacationing. It says, take me anywhere. There's a photo of a passport. And yeah, I actually got my passport this year. I had one previously, but it expired a while ago. So I got a new passport this year, so that came true. I actually did more traveling this year than I have any other year. And I didn't travel all over the world, but I traveled around California. I stayed in different Airbnbs. I went to Joshua Tree for the first time. I went to Big Bear several times. I went to San Diego multiple times. I went to San Francisco. I even stayed in this beautiful, like luxurious mansion Airbnb in my town that I live in, and that was like a treat in itself. But the thing is, take this photo that says vacation with friends. This manifested in such a beautiful way. So I have my friend Alana and Alyssa. Alana I had known for about a year, and Alyssa I met at the end of 2019. And the three of us went to an Airbnb together down in San Diego. And Alyssa invited her two friends, Carissa and Evelyn, and we came together and it just was this amazing instant connection for the 5 of us. Since that experience, the 5 of us have been inseparable. Through this, I have met my soul sisters, and we travel and we meet up at Airbnbs. We've been like our own little crew during this time to really support and uplift each other, and we've grown so much. So although I didn't necessarily put a section on friends, just this whole part about vacation with friends, that 100% came true. But you also see there's this picture that says Wellness Mastermind Retreat. The 5 of us girls, together we're going to create a retreat center. And that wasn't even on my mind. Looking at this vision board later on, I was like, wait, all of that kind of tied together. Vacationing, vacation with friends, and the 5 of us together want to create an amazing retreat center because we know how healing it is when the 5 of us get together, and we want to bring other people in to experience that as well. So that section of my vision board was an ultimate great success. Right here it says, be a mentor, get a mentor. Check, check. I started my life coaching officially at the beginning of 2020. And as far as get a mentor, I've had multiple mentors this year. I'm actually in my friend Alyssa's mastermind, so she's technically a mentor of mine as well as a best friend of mine. And I'm also in a certification called the Divine Expander with Riley June. It's very much in the spiritual realm, and yeah, you'll definitely be learning more about that shortly, but I'm really excited about that mentorship and growing through her program. So right here it says personal assistant. I have been wanting and desiring help in my business for so long, but the most amazing person came along. Her name is Tiana. She is my VA, but she does so much more than just assist me. And that was really a manifestation. Like, I didn't seek her out. She just showed up and like came to me. So that was awesome. Here we have public speaking. That actually did manifest, and you're probably like, what are you talking about? How did you public speak? There was no things to speak at because we were all stuck inside our homes. Well, that's where we get to shift our perspective on allowing things to possibly come to us in a different way than what we expected originally. Because although there were no physical events to go to, I was invited to speak at multiple virtual events. Like, I've done more speaking than I ever have. I did a little tiny bit of speaking last year, and it was terrifying, but it got me hooked and I loved it, so that's why I wanted to get more into it. And it also says confidence here by the public speaking, and I can say, although, you know, I didn't step physically onto a stage this year, it used to be nerve-wracking for me to go live on Instagram. It used to be nerve-wracking for me to even speak up on like a group call situation, and it doesn't get to me anymore. Like, I feel fine. I feel like I can express myself and I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. So that has been such a great thing to overcome and accomplish. Right here we have a photo of Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. Tony Robbins is like a huge person within the personal development world. He's like the life coach to the stars and throws these huge seminars. One of them is called Unleash the Power Within. I actually bought a ticket. Like, I was gonna go, like I had it, but then it got shut down because we couldn't gather anymore. Although I didn't get to physically go, the fact that I had the ticket and it was happening and I can still attend the virtual event, I'm gonna say that that is a win. Okay, getting into the YouTube section. So every year I put a 1 million subscribers play button in the center of my vision board. That did not happen. I am getting closer though to 500,000, and like, let's celebrate that. I've had my channel for a very long time. The longer you've had your channel, a lot of the times the less the algorithm favors you because they want to push out newer channels. But I did have some videos that did pretty well this year that were very well received, so I'm gonna look at that as a win. But as far as having the 1 million subscribers play button on my vision board, I don't know if I'm gonna continue putting that. That's something I feel like I'm fine with releasing. And I bet you anything with releasing that, it's probably gonna come even quicker. Also, as far as the YouTube area goes, I put collaboration and content and whatnot. I actually did quite a few collaborations this year. One of my favorite ones, if you have been around recently, is my videos that I did with Elizabeth April. She opened my mind and blew my mind this year. She just gives you a completely different perspective on understanding life and existence, and that was super amazing. I fangirled a little bit because I just think she's brilliant. I also did some collaborations with some of my other favorite people and I didn't post them. First of all, I have to shout out Angie Lee and Mike Lee. I filmed videos with them, but then everything in the world got all like bizarre and hectic. You guys know what I'm talking about. I can't say specific words because YouTube flags certain things and I don't want to use any trigger words, but things went down in the world and I just didn't feel right about putting those videos up right as all of that was happening. But I will say Mike and Angie Lee, they're amazing. They're like super successful entrepreneurs. They're the founders of Soul CBD, the CBD company that I use. I'll also give them a shout out for their CBD because it genuinely helped me so much with overcoming my experience with anxiety with their CBD oil, and I do have a code for that. It is Annie B. Annie B. This video is not sponsored. I'm just throwing that in there. So shout out to Mike and Angie. Angie is actually one of the people who helped change my life just by listening to her podcast and going to her live events. It was actually her live event that I spoke at in front of 1,500 people for the first time. So shout out to them. I also did some collaborations with Drew Canoli, who is the CEO or founder of the company Organifi. And unfortunately, that video, the audio was super messed up and I was so bummed because Drew has such an amazing story. He went from a home filled with child abuse, like severe child abuse, to being put up for adoption and adopted into a family who was very loving, but they didn't have a lot of money. And now he's this amazing human and he's a millionaire and he's very spiritual. And we just shared his story on his life transformation and his manifestation tips. So hopefully I can refilm that at some point. And I also did a house tour of his $1 million, like multi-million dollar home. But again, the audio was messed up. But at least I did these collaborations with these awesome people. Here at the bottom, we have my money section, and I put $300,000. That did not come true. But what I will say about this, putting $300,000, is that is something that I fully believe to be possible and will come in my future. But this, me putting this number on my vision board, was out of ego and comparison, because like my mentor, Samantha Skelly, she shared that she went from $30,000 to $300,000 within 12 months. So I'm like, well, if she did that within 12 months, like that should be my next goal, $300,000. So that's honestly why I put $300,000 on my vision board. Again, totally possible, but why put that pressure on me when, as a matter of fact, I actually made more than I made last year. Last year I made 6 figures and I made a little bit more this year, and that in itself is such a win. When a lot of people are struggling financially, but I did a little bit better this year than I did last year, like I am celebrating that. I had my highest paying month ever, several of my highest paying months this year. And I also this year, not even that long ago, just in the last couple months, had my lowest paying months in like the last 2 years, and those like made me a little anxious. But then I looked at my overall income for the year and I surpassed my income last year. That's freaking awesome. So I do see the issue sometimes with doing something like this and saying $300,000 and then not hitting that $300,000 and then writing it off as a fail, even though it is a win. I grew a little bit from last year and that's something to greatly celebrate. So I'm gonna say this part that says abundance flows into my life with ease and grace. That is a win. Moving on to my living situation. This was a little bit, I don't even wanna say chaotic, but a little all over the place, because I put at the top of my vision board a 1-bedroom loft that is pool facing at my current apartment. And there's only one of those units. And I met the kid who lives there. And that's literally the only thing that is holding me back. There is another unit like this available at this very moment that I could sign a lease to if I wanted to, but I'm just so set on having the pool view rather than a street view. The thing to celebrate is I can move there. When that kid moves out, I can move there. I feel financially capable and stable to be able to do that. And yes, it's gonna be much more than my studio apartment, but I'm to a place where I can do that. On top of that, I started getting interested in these houses that I put on my vision board. I got to the point where I could have moved into one of these with roommates, and I actually went and toured one this year. I found people who were like interested in moving to one of these places together, and we toured it. It just wasn't big enough. And then we went on this whole like loop-de-loo like adventure of trying to figure out other places to live, and we just couldn't come to the same conclusion on price range, location, all of that, and it just kind of got a little hectic there. So I'm like, I'm gonna go back to focusing on living by myself and returning my attention to that 1-bedroom loft apartment or something better. That will happen within the next year. And then at the bottom here, we have physical body. First of all, we have this contortionist stuff. If you didn't know, I was ridiculously flexible when I was younger, like ridiculously. So I wanted to get back into this, and I didn't give that enough attention this year. But on the plus side, I did try doing one of these back bend situation things, and although I am not quite where I used to be, I can do it to some extent. It doesn't feel as natural and easy as it used to, but if I give that a little bit more attention, I can do that no problem. Another thing that validates this is my video that I did with Elizabeth April, who is a medium and channeler. You might not be into this, and it's fine if you're not into this, but she said in a past life, I was a yogi.
You were a yogi, and you would do crazy shit. Like you would like be able to like bend your body and flip around, and like you could also like balance on one hand your whole body. Like it was really wild what you could do. Like you were literally, you look kind of like a circus act, you know?
The interesting thing is I so often have these dreams all the time, where I can bend my body in all sorts of ways. And in these dreams, I also have ridiculous control and strength and can just effortlessly like lift my body up into a handstand and bend all sorts of ways and walk on my hands. And I have these dreams all the time, and then I wake up frustrated because I'm like, I'm supposed to be able to do that. Elizabeth saying that in the reading felt like some sort of validation. So that was a cool thing that kind of connects with this vision board. And then at the bottom, we have fitness goals. My gym got shut down, and I did not get super ripped. You know, a lot of things were going on in the world and it felt hectic. So I was just like, I don't want to do anything at times. But I also, especially lately, I go hiking every single day, and it's not about like, I need to get super ripped and strong. I just want to have energy, and that feels good. And so I feel like I've really developed a different sort of relationship with movement and with my body, and it just feels right. And yeah, I'm proud of myself in that way. But those are the main things. So there was travel, there was friendships, passport, I'm creating a retreat, I'm a mentor, I have mentees, I have a personal assistant, I've done public speaking, I had a ticket to Tony Robbins, I had a great financial year, I did collaborations, I made enough to be able to live in these places that I want to live in, and I'm still manifesting that 1-bedroom loft over the pool as soon as that kid leaves. And if he doesn't, I'm going somewhere better. So considering the year that we had, I would say what a freaking successful year for manifestation, especially and regardless of the world circumstances. And that is the power of not just giving up because things outwardly are going weird. Like holding true to what you believe is right for you in not a controlling way, but in a way of just faith that it's going to work itself out somehow, even if it's not in a way that I'm currently comprehending how it should go. Like, let's let go of how things should go or the control of how they come to manifest, and just know where our heart is pulling us, where our soul is pulling us, and have faith that it's going to work out, and it doesn't all have to work out in that year, and any win is a win to celebrate. It is when we put the pressure on it and start feeling like we're failing because we're not doing all the things and it's not all happening. But I'm sure some of it is happening. Some things are shifting, and if you put your focus on the things that are shifting and the things that are manifesting and celebrate those things, the rest will unfold quicker. And you are totally capable of doing this and creating such massive shifts in your life. And if you want to make a vision board this year and you want my guidance, then again, there are tickets down below to join my virtual workshop for creating your very own vision board. So I'm gonna tell you real quick what I have planned. So you're going to be getting a workbook on really brainstorming and diving into what you want to create for 2021. You are going to get my guided visualization that I created and recorded, and it's really freaking good and powerful. Like, that alone is such a huge tool, and you'll be able to download it and use it throughout the entire year and beyond. And then the workshop itself will be a 90-minute Zoom call, and we'll all come together, and it will be a live experience where I will teach you everything that I know and have to offer around creating a vision board. And then as an added on bonus, a week later, I'm gonna give you about a week to gather your supplies and get everything ready to make your vision board. I'm inviting anyone who is on that call to a second call, and it's going to be a vision board party where we're all going to spend time putting our vision boards together live and in action, and you will be the first people to get to see my 2021 vision board and make yours alongside of me, virtually of course. So if that's something that sounds super interesting and fun, click down below to get your ticket. Like, this is going to be such a great experience. Again, limited spots are available, so snag yours as soon as possible. And if you have any questions, let me know down below. But that is all I have for you today, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye guys.